Bessent went on Fox News after this 50% tariff thing. Shall we take a look? By the way, hit the like, share the show. It's Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. I'm live from Los Angeles because tonight I'm at Flappers and I'm doing a show. And our patrons get to come see the show and bring a guest if they want to come live, if they're around. And if you're just at home or you're in another part of the country or another part of the world, I'll live stream it to you because I'm that kind of a guy. All right, here we go. And you guys are wonderful. So this is Scott Bessent was on Fox News.
Some big breaking news is going to move markets too in a significant way. Breaking news on the push for U.S. trade deals.
But is it breaking, Bill?
President Trump says that talks with the European Union are hitting a brick wall and is now looking to take action. Is
it the same brick wall he slammed his face into and turned it that color?
This about an hour ago. Quote, our discussions with them are going nowhere. Therefore, I am recommending a straight 50% tariff on the European Union starting on June 1, 2025. That's about 9 days from now. There is no tariff if the product is built or manufactured in the United States. And Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent here exclusively. And good morning to you, Mr. Secretary. And
or whoever's under that skin you bought on eBay.
Thanks for being here.
Morning, Bill.
On what has turned out to be a rather busy news day. And good morning to you. You were just in Canada the last few days meeting with members of the G7, the EU.
Yes, and you thought you had pretty much handled it, and then oops.
I want to get into all of that. But with regard to this move on the EU, how bad was the conversation in Canada to lead to this?
Oh, it was absolute shit. They were friendly and confused, and they didn't understand that all we were asking them to do was destroy their own economies while giving Trump a rim job. And
conversation in Canada was fine. The problem is the lead up to that, the 90-day pause on the April 2nd tariffs.
I feel very confident listening to this guy. I don't know about you, but I think we all owe Hank Paulson an apology because he came out in 2008 covered in flop sweat before the economy crashed, and we were like, but Bessent, I mean, next level.
Based on countries or trade blocs coming to us and negotiating in good faith. And I believe the president believes that the EU proposals have not been of the same quality that we've seen from our other important trading partners.
Oh, yeah? Our other important trading partners? Like England and Bahrain and Malaysia?
I've said there are 18 important trade deals that we have to do. I'm working mostly on Asia, and that group
this is not my fault.
Move forward with
Jesus Christ. Did he just swallow half of his answer?
And that group has moved forward with some very interesting proposals.
Interesting. Like, one of them is called the GFY plan. They keep telling me to GFY, and we've been studying that very, very seriously, very forcefully with the warrior ethos. And wait a minute, I think they want me to go fuck myself. Yeah. Oh.
Negotiating in good faith. We've already inked a deal with the UK.
No, you haven't.
I think there are a couple more coming in the near future.
You do?
I think this is in response just to the EU's pace.
Let me get back to that in a moment.
Just
I mentioned
the EU's pace. I don't know if it's the pace. It's a bunch of different countries. The European Union is a bunch of different countries with a bunch of different economies. There's no fucking way they could do this fast.
Versus 9 days away. Is there an opportunity for negotiations?
No, we have a toddler asshole in chief. No, we're fucked. Sorry. Strap in, kids.
Days.
Well, I'm not going to negotiate on TV, but I would hope that this would light a fire under the EU because, Bill, I've said before, EU has a collective action problem here. It's 27 countries, but they're being represented by the one group in Brussels. So some of the feedback that I've been getting is that the underlying countries don't even know what the EU is negotiating on their behalf.
That's false. And also, he means Romania.
On Apple, there is more news, too, on that, okay? Here we go. On True Social an hour ago, I've long informed Tim Cook of Apple that I expect their iPhones will be sold in the United States of America, will be manufactured and built in the U.S., not India or any place else. If that's not the case, a tariff of at least 25% must be paid by Apple to the United States. So we've got two tariff threats in about 10 minutes' time. I understand that Tim Cook was at...
So the price of iPhones is going to go up 25%.
White House this week. Did that conversation not go well?
Again, I wasn't in on that conversation. I so saw and this week. So, again, the president is trying to bring back precision manufacturing to the U.S.
Yeah, but you can't do that swiftly.
And,
and make the cost. By the way, a 25% tariff on an iPhone will be cheaper than having it built here, period. If you build it here, the price will go up more than 25%. No question. There is no way you're going to currently, in a modern factory here, make these fucking things here. And if you could, it would be in a factory that had 0 humans working in it.
That one of our greatest vulnerabilities, are this external production, especially in semiconductors, and a large...
Yeah, but that's been handled by the Chips and Science Act, which you shit on, but you use. So stop fucking around. None of this has to do with fucking phones.
Of Apple's components are in semiconductors, so we would like to have Apple help us make the semiconductors...
No. He's not talking about semiconductors, fuckwad. He means the phones. The glass, the buttons, the cameras, the circuit boards, the batteries, the assembly here. All those parts made here and assembled here. Or there's like 25% tariff on each element that you bring in from another country.
Chain more secure.
What I found interesting in Saudi Arabia last week was that the president called out Tim Cook for not being there. Now, you know that high technology companies, it takes time to move those production facilities.
No, he doesn't.
What's realistic for Apple?
Again, I don't know from company to company. So.
Shut the fuck up. Here, I tell you what, is it more than 9 days, dummy? If they announce they're going to build one in the States and it takes them 7 years to complete the factory, will you drop the fucking tariff?
We'll have to see. I do think that Apple started moving a big portion of their supply chain out of China during...
Right. To Vietnam.
COVID, when China proved to be, an unreliable partner.
Okay, so...
Yeah, nice non-answer. Hey, Bill. These are your boys. Yeah, you used to be kind of a regular morning dude, and then you threw in your lot with fucking Fox News. Open up your fucking pelican jaw and scoop this shit down your gullet.
Where that goes, and waiting a reply perhaps from Tim Cook, and maybe that comes today.
No, they're not going to fucking build a factory in the United States and sell fucking $2,700 iPhones.
On the big, beautiful bill, it passed in the House, but it only passed by a single vote. And some suggest that now's the hard part. Here's Senator Ron Johnson out of Wisconsin on what's expected next on the Senate side.
I've already said it in its current state is completely unacceptable to me. What was not even brought up in the House debate are the numbers we ought to be considering.
The president said that he wants this passed ASAP. Are you worried that he's going to be upset at the Senate?
I couldn't care less if he's upset. I'm concerned about my children, my grandchildren, and the fact that we are stealing from them.
Yeah, see, these guys aren't going to be moved on this. Even the guys in the House, like you had 2 Republicans join the Democrats to try and stop that bill. It only had 1 vote to pass. Even with their 7-vote margin or 6-vote margin that they have right now, they had a bunch of people out and a couple of empty seats, technically, people that will be appointed.
Listen to that. It's going to be a battle. How much change can the president accept on this?
It doesn't matter. Because the people in the House, you only had 1 vote, means they can't accept any change. If you change anything, you're going to fuck with one of the groups or the other. That's how it's going to work out. Like, you're not going to get another vote like that out of Mike Johnson.
Well, I think we're going to see. The House had been working on their bill for a year, and I know the Senate, led by Leader Thune, is going to take this up immediately. And I'm not expecting that there's going to have to be that much change. And I respect.
Yeah, you haven't read it. You don't even know what's in it. You don't even know what they're arguing about, dummy. You don't even know what the fucking trade negotiations are like in the EU. And it's your... Also, why is the Treasury Secretary negotiating trade deals? Why at all? Why is he on that fucking team? Isn't there enough just with monetary policy in and of itself inside the country?
Senator Johnson's position that we do have to get our finances in order, and that's a combination of controlling spending but also growing the economy.
Yeah, those two things don't happen at the same time.
He did not get into this fiscal mess overnight. This has been a long
But he wants to get out of it overnight. See the problem?
process. We're not going to fix it overnight.
Trump thinks you are.
Aligned with Senator Johnson on fixing it. I think we've just got to be careful on the timing.
You mentioned economic growth in your comment there. This bill adds trillions to our debt. How is that acceptable to this administration?
Well, again,
Sorry, I had a leech in my throat.
referring to the CBO scoring, I believe, which is tenure scoring, and it's DC style scoring. So we think that
Yeah, it doesn't allow for Mar-a-Lago, Atlantic City Casino, Taj Mahal magic thinking.
both grow the economy and control the debt. And what's important, Bill, is that the economy grows faster than the debt. So what I would tell your viewers to focus on is what I'm focused on, is what
Okay, so the economy grows faster than the debt, and it has been over the last few years. Certainly did under Biden quite a bit. You didn't point that out then, did you?
Secretary Yellen was focused on is what is the total debt to GDP? Because we can grow our way out of this. That if we change the growth trajectory of the country, of the economy,
which includes taking on trillions of dollars in new debt, namely $5.6 trillion.
then we will stabilize our finances and grow our way out of this.
On the tariffs that you mentioned.
And the president, in case of emergency, has 3 magic beans. And if he throws them on the ground, they will grow into a mighty tree that will take him up to the land of treasure and milk and honey.
A lot of discussions in Canada. Japan was a part of that. You've talked about Japan a lot.
Yeah.
If the Japanese is not the next country to do a deal, who is?
As I've mentioned before, we're far along with India, and they...
Not so much. You just killed the fucking Apple deal with them, apparently. How did that set things back?
And early on, many of the Asian countries have come with very good deals.
You mean the tiny ones? Tell us all about Singapore and the Philippines. Were they going to give Trump a fucking hotel?
18 important trading partners, and I would say with the exception of the EU, most are negotiating in very good faith.
Who do you think goes first?
Yes, the EU, which is just 26 countries.
Bill, we're going to have to see.
Is it a summer battle? Do we take this into the fall?
Jesus Christ.
And if we take it into the fall, are we talking about 2026? To do a deal you can announce publicly?
With the EU.
With the EU, with anybody, you pick it.
No, look, these deals are moving quickly.
Yeah, they're moving quickly. That's why Trump is so mad.
I think as we approach the end of the 90-day period, we're going to see more and more of them announced.
Okay, is that July then?
I think that's That's the 90 days.
Okay, so we will look for that then. On Doge, you announced yesterday that
Jesus.
Sam Corcus will stick with you as the new information officer at Treasury. The reason why this is important is because 2 months ago, you sent this on X. You said IRS modernization is 30 years behind schedule, 15 billion over budget, relying on outdated technology. We're working hard to make it more efficient. That's stunning when you think about that from March 21st. How long before the IRS is in the year 2025 then?
Well, we got to get them into the 21st century first, because this modern.
Also, we've got to the Doge guys have to put malware bugs in all the software, and I don't know how any of that works.
Project, I believe, started before Sam was born. I believe the project started in 1990. I think.
Yeah, nothing's changed technologically in that period of time.
Spent about $48 billion and is running on a programming language from when you and I were in college. So I think we can have this done by the end of the president's term, and along the way make substantial improvements. You know, if we were to look, the IRS makes about as many payments as a mid-sized U.S. bank. A mid-sized U.S. bank does it with 10% of the people and with 10% of the cost.
Right, but it's also 10% of mid-sized banks get hacked or ransomwared on the regular. That's one of the reasons why you'd be concerned about this.
So my priorities at the IRS are collections, privacy, and customer service. And I think that this
fabulous. I can I just get a brochure, because we've got a lunch.
Modernization that we're doing in the IT stack is going to increase all three.
So the point on that then would be, even though Doge is not in the headlines, Doge is not dead.
Well, the point, Bill, is that this Doge effort is one of the most important efforts of my lifetime. And what I am committed to doing.
That's fucking sad.
Is not letting.
I got to say, I think the cancer moonshot and the path to deflecting an asteroid before it hits the Earth might be mine. I don't know about you guys.
The bureaucracy slow it down too much. That Elon Musk is one of the premier, or probably the premier businessman of this generation.
No, he's a flim-flam artist, just like Trump. That's why they get along.
He launched this thing,
No, he didn't. He took over an already existing office under Trump's directive.
This cost-cutting program, and if we go back to Senator Johnson, that we need to get the cost under control, but we need to get government efficiency under control. We need to make the government work better for the American people. And at Treasury, we are committed to doing that with the IRS.
Okay, so we'll see where that goes. I got about 30.
We'll see where that goes, along with the fucking crashing economy, I guess.
Left. The penny will cease production next year. You have said the dime is still profitable, which was a comment that really struck me. But the nickel is not. Would you phase out the nickel next?
Bill, I think we can retool the nickel and change the composition of the alloys so that.
Yeah, Americans are going to be using a lot more of these as these motherfuckers break the economy. We're going to need all the fucking dimes and nickels we can stand.
A nickel is worth a nickel, because the penny, I think, was costing us 3.6 cents to make, which even in Washington math isn't a good deal.
I get it. Thank you for your time. We are 2 minutes away from the opening bell.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you as well. And futures are trading well to the negative side, so we'll see where we end up.
I'm guessing not in a positive sense. Let's shall we check on that on our way out the door, kids? Hi, everybody. By the way, hit that like, share the show. Do we have any maggots with us today? I'm assuming that we do. Let's go. Bloom. Let's see. Okay, did it in this window. There we go. Trump's tariffs may not pay for GOP tax cuts. His supporters pay records for $65 billion as April tariff bill lands. Let's see. I guess we'll just look up here at the dunk. Go away. Yeah, yep. Dow Jones is down to 41,603. Hold on. Opening this up. 1 second. I have to sign in again. Yeah, looking good, buddy. Looking real good. 19, we get back. There was this, whatever bounce was there, they're going to build another dip in. That's what this is. Yeah, it was almost back up to 42,792. That was the highest. And then now it's back down 12. Yeah, there you go. Let me move this over here so you can see it. That's that guy right there. Yeah, that's, and this is, let's see, the futures today. This is Dunk. This is the first one. They're assuming, and by the way, I guess on the first is when they're expecting this to just take a giant shit. Also, I don't know on the East Coast how late in the day his announcement about the 50% thing, as far as how much it lands. Yeah, stocks get hit as Trump not looking for EU deal. This is this guy, right? Whoops. Get down out of here. Get down on it. Wall Street was rattled by Trump's threat to impose aggressive tariffs on the Union, with stocks falling and the dollar hitting its lowest level since December 2023. S&P 500 extended losses as Trump says he's not looking for a deal with the EU, reiterating tariffs would be set at 50%. Earlier Friday, the market got some relief as Treasury Secretary Bessent said the U.S. could strike several large trade deals in the next couple weeks. That's him just fucking bullshitting. Apple fell 3%. United Steel soared 21 as Trump backed a partnership with Japan's Nippon Steel, which is, by the way, this is the, I'm not going to let, it has to be U.S. owned or whatever. And then he mentioned some bullshit about them getting like effectively what would be a majority stake, but he has no idea. So everybody jumped on that. Benchmark 10-year treasuries held gains as Bessent said regulators may ease a capital rule in the market, which could reduce yields. Haven currencies like Japanese yen and Swiss franc climbed alongside gold. That's not good. Trump said the 25% tariff he threatened against Apple would also be aimed at device makers, including Samsung, to spur them into moving manufacture of the products in the U.S. Samsung's a Korean company. It's very different from Apple in that regard. He goes, the president said in social media posts a higher charge on the EU would start June 1st because our discussions with them are going no place. The sudden move underscores the ongoing risk that shifts U.S. policy can abruptly upend market dynamics at short notice. Markets had rebounded in recent weeks on optimism. Trump was softening his approach on tariffs, which he is absolutely not. He's dumb. Volatility remains the theme, which is how, if you know when it's going to happen, you know he's going to do this, you can buy into it. This is all, Doge is a heist. Tariffs are a heist. This whole tariff thing is so that he and his family can get rich fucking with the market, figuring that the engine of America will stabilize it and bring it back from the brink at some point. Yeah, that's what this is about. America's going to become the new India? No, not quite. We are very much in danger of having a Japan or UK moment, though. Yeah. So anyways, love you guys. I'm going to go because I'm going to prep for my show tonight, meaning clean up. And then radio tomorrow. So I'll see you guys then. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. Hit the like, share the show. Thank you guys for the super chats. Ben, the cat noises from the last flapper set had me in tears. Oh, thank you. I am Siegfried said, how to see the flappers live stream, please. If you're a member, I will stream it to YouTube members, and also I will put it in on if you're a Patreon, you'll get to see it. And then the capable Glober, thank you again, and William, thank you again, and 1524 Scooter. I'm just starting to watch again after the election. I couldn't stand it. I stayed a member though. Thank you so much. Welcome back. Don't worry. Come on in. The water's fine. Hold on. Let me get out of here so I can talk to you guys because I'm looking at these other chat things. I think I need to get a slightly bigger text on this because unless you're watching this on a giant television, I'm guessing it kind of looks like shit. Sorry. All right. I'll fix that. with everything else. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow with Johnny Million and a couple other special guests. It's a good time. And I'll talk to you later. And where's the escape button? Here's a little escape music for you.